What's up, guys? So, on this particular video, we'll be discussing about Meghalaya in the month of April 2026, what you should be expecting in terms of the weather and the climate, the landscape and nature, the routing and the road condition, what you need to be packing, what are the festivals that you can be expecting, and overall, is it a good time or a bad time to be visiting Meghalaya in the month of April 2026? So, now starting off with the weather, you need to understand that the month of April is pretty much the end of, I would say, winter and the beginning of partial summer that Meghalaya has. So the daytime temperature is going to be anywhere between 22 to 28 degrees. It's going to be pretty humid in the daytime. So come prepared for a humid, sticky kind of a weather. The nights are going to be pretty pleasant with the temperature ranging from anywhere between 12 degrees to 18 degrees. Now, this temperature fluctuation depends entirely on where you are. In places like Shillong and in Cherrapunji, it's going to be pretty cold, while in Dawki, it's going to be pretty windy. Now, for all those who are planning on going to Dawki for camping, it's a bummer because camping at Dawki is not going to happen in the month of April since it gets so windy that the tents end up breaking. So, camping is pretty much impossible in the month of April. You can expect it to be max open if you know some local contact who's ready to pitch tents for you, but otherwise, it's not going to be possible in the month of April. Now, rainfall in the month of April starts pre monsoon showers, I would say. There's light rainfall. You cannot expect it to end up hampering your journey in the outdoors, but it's going to be raining. Typically, I would say in the second half of the day towards the evening, it can rain for a couple of hours max. Now, this rain is not going to really hamper any kind of travel of yours, but it's definitely going to make it a bit more pleasant for you in the night in terms of the weather. So the overall humidity will drop in the night once it starts to rain, but you can expect it to be otherwise sunny throughout the day. Carrying an umbrella is a good option in the month of April, but do not carry something which is too heavy. A light three-fold umbrella which can fit easily into your, I would say, into your day pack is a very good option to be carrying. The month of April is a very good time for traveling for people who do not like it to be extremely cold. And it's a good time for those who want the weather to be nice and warm and comfortable to be moving around. Now, the landscape wise is going to be green, and a lot of the greenery starts to return, even though uh, because it's the start of pre monsoon, whatever little rain starts, it starts to get the entire valley lush and green. Even some of the waterfalls, which are seasonal, will start to slowly appear. It wouldn't be in its full force like what it would be in the monsoon, but it'll definitely start. Now, when you're traveling to Meghalaya, you need to understand that the roads are extremely well made. No matter which part of Meghalaya you're traveling around, the roads are well done. That is along the tourist circuit. So, if you're planning on going to Cherrapunji, Dawki, the roads are well made. But remember, the road from Shillong to Dawki via Mawlingnong Rivai is still under construction. So, it's advisable for you to take the Jawai road and go to Dawki and then return via the Mawlingnong Rivai dirt road. This way, you will avoid going to the same dirt road twice. This will make your journey far more easier and hassle free compared to taking the muddy road twice up and down. Now remember that Meghalaya is a state where you need a minimum, I would say, of 4 nights, 5 days, or 5 nights, 6 days to explore just the basic tourist hotspots. If you're planning on venturing on anywhere beyond that, then you'll need a minimum of 7 nights, 8 days, or 8 nights, 9 days, depending on the kind of places you want to visit and the time you're ready to spend in each place. Now, Meghalaya is a state where you do not need an inner line permit, so all Indian tourists can just travel there with their Aadhaar card. You do not need anything beyond that. Also, remember that when you're traveling to Meghalaya, UPI payments are accepted everywhere. Just make sure that you are well prepared in advance with your accommodation, that you've booked most of it. Do not go there without booking your accommodation because you might end up falling in trouble. Now, the month of April, you have to remember one thing is that Easter is in the first week, and Good Friday is in the first Friday of April. So the third of April, which is a Friday, is Good Friday, which is a religious day for all Christians in Meghalaya. So by default, the double-decker route bridge will be closed that weekend. Most of the eateries and the shops in Cherrapunji will also be closed. So wherever you're going, which is a Christian-dominated place, that is Mawlingnong, Rivai, Cherrapunji will all be closed. Even in Shillong, most of the eateries will be closed, which are run by Christians or Catholics. Hence, plan your trip accordingly so that you do not end up missing out on any experience because you have planned your trip with that long weekend, because that's going to be a real big problem. Now, remember that one very important thing that you need to understand when you're traveling to Meghalaya is that the fact that everything shuts early. So no matter where you are, even if you're in Shillong, you have to have your dinner and finish it off by latest 9 or 10 in the evening, so that you're back in your hotel by latest 10:30, because things start shutting down very early. You have to be prepared to have your dinners early in places like Cherrapunji and all, where they will shut and close kitchen by maybe 9 p.m. It's a kind of place where you rise up early and everything shuts early at the same time. Now, when you are planning on going to Dawki, you can experience the boat ride in Dawki, but it's not going to be possible for you to be doing anything beyond that at Dawki, because it's very, very difficult since the monsoon has already arrived. Along with this, if you're planning on going to the double decker route bridge trek, it's a good time to be going there, but just make sure that you leave really early in the morning, because if you go when it is later on, it's going to be really hot and difficult for you to trek down and then trek up back. Climbing those 3,000 steps is going to be a real nightmare. Remember that Meghalaya is a place where everybody is pro tourism, so no matter where you're going, everybody's going to be kind and warm to you. It's just that on Sundays the double decker route bridge is closed, and even Mauling Nong village is closed because it's a Sabbath day. It's a Christian state, so by default it's closed. And in Meghalaya, one thing that you have to remember is that every place that you're going to go to requires you to have a entry fee, which will they'll charge you anywhere between 10 rupees to 100 rupees depending on the location you're going to. Now, this entry fee will mostly be taken in cash, so come prepared by carrying at least, I would say, anywhere between 3 to 5,000 rupees in cash, so that you have enough of cash to pay for these entry fees. It's not going to cost you more than, I would say, 500 to 1,000 rupees depending on the number of places that you're going to, but have enough of cash so that you can pay for your group or for your whoever you're traveling with. Meghalaya has plenty of veg options for foods. In Shillong, you'll get the best veg food. In places like more remote places like Cherrapunji and everything, you'll just get basic veg thali, and you have to make do with what the food is, because you do not have any other options out there. Other than this, what you should be packing, you should be packing light cotton clothes for April. You need to carry one thin jacket, I would say, for the nights, because it can get windy and cold in the nights, but otherwise it's going to be hot and sunny. Carry your sunglasses, which are good strong UV protected sunglasses. Do not come to Meghalaya without a power bank and without a very good pair of shoes. Come with shoes which have a very good grip, because there'll be a lot of walking, and since most of the water would have dried up in most places, you'll have to trek even more if you want to go to the base of the waterfall. Now, when it comes to the waterfalls that you should be visiting, I would say Krangsuri, Fifi, and Nokalika are the three ones which you should definitely visit. What should be your budget for Meghalaya? It depends entirely on the kind of transportation, accommodation, and the number of people in your group that you're going to go there. Anywhere between, I would say, 15 to 50,000 is what you should budget per person, depending on the number of days you're planning on going to Meghalaya for. Over and above this, Meghalaya in April is a lot of fun, because it's like an in between season. It's not really peak season, nor is it dead season. It's like an in between season, because it's the end of winter and it's just before monsoon kicks in, so people are waiting for the monsoon for the waterfalls to arrive. So that's why it's a very good time to be going there. But remember, in the month of April, it's there's a lot of power cuts in Meghalaya. Even in Shillong, there's a lot of power cuts because the water has dried up, and owing to this, it's electricity cuts are very, very frequent. So you'll have to bear with that. If you want to go to Meghalaya in April and you're confused about how to go about it, you can click on the link in our description, which will take you to our website where we have trips to Kaziranga and Meghalaya happening. You can directly book from our website, or you can call our sales team who will guide you through the booking process. If you have any queries related to your own personal travel to Meghalaya, please do not bother calling us or WhatsApping us. You can leave a comment in the comment section. Our sales team is not at all interested in solving your personal travel queries to Meghalaya. For that, you'll have to book a consultation, which is a paid service. Once you book that, our sales consultant will get on a call with you and solve your queries and doubts. Now, remember, Meghalaya in the month of April is a very good time to go biking. So, if you're interested in taking a bike around Meghalaya in the month of April, is a very good time to be going there. Now, till our next video about Meghalaya, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.